the world is changing. And those of us who are fortunate to know of flower essences and all modalities of vibrational medicine, we're very fortunate. And there are people and places in the world that are not able to spend their time working with ideas and beautiful flower essence therapies, psychological healing and growth, because there's famine and there's so much destruction and there's suffering in the world. And that's why it's so important that we embrace the opportunity to be where we are now, that we can become aware of the sensitivities of the world, but not be overshadowed by them, and do the work that we're here to do, and be grateful that we are given the opportunity to do so. So there are people, many of us, myself included, of course, that feel oversensitivity to world changes. And not only is it, again, difficult to cope sometimes with these uncertain times, we have stress in our adrenal overload, anxiety, depression, mental chaos, unusual body sensations, solar plexus gravity that I'm sure all of us have felt during this time, and hopeless feelings. Because hopelessness, of course, and many of these, depression, anxiety, are areas of the human psyche that Dr. Edward Bach, of course, way back in the 1930s and 40s spoke of, helped us to understand that actual medicines, allopathic medicine that we need and we don't disregard, aren't able to attend to some of the human emotion and human fear dynamics and anxiety that cause physical ailments. And this again is the oversensitive person or sensitive people. We're collecting information constantly through our nervous system, our skin, into our adrenals and our body. We have to learn how to cope, how to be able to handle these changes in the world, to build a healthy life in transitional times. So again, how do we do so? Like, what can we do? Each of us who has our very own planet signature, our very own way of responding to the world around us, and our very own opportunity to, whether it be become more aware of it, these accelerated vibrations in nature energy, to be like nature and to not fear, but to allow the changes to take place that are happening around us and within us, to challenge the structure of the status quo. I think we're understanding that to individuate, which is something, of course, Rudolf Steiner spoke of through, Anthroposophical Society, through the study and the work of what it is to individuate, to become, purely identified with the mission and the purpose of your life, and not to be afraid of what out of box is going to mean. And for some people, that's huge. And we can see that imprinted in some people's astrological chart. Others may not have the issue as much. You can see so many things like this, body alignment and body work. I think we all need to look at our diet, without being, again, overly strict or overly harsh, because we need joy and expansion. We know that the subtle vibrational world is expansive and the gravity world is contracting. So, and contracting energy is what brings illness. And so we want to stay open, which means not overly strict, where we take away the joy of a piece of cake, if you want it, you know what I'm saying? But we need to enjoy the world while we become conscious, however, of body alignment and what our body needs to work well. We need to have environmental awareness of our home, family, our relationships. Do they stifle us? What can we do inside ourselves? We come to know more than ever now. And also through the work of flower essences and vibrational, you might say, dedication to become the best we can be. we know that nobody else can affect us but ourselves. And so we grow into conscious relationships that will heal diversity and will heal, again, the separation, and merge power and love back together so that we have empowered humans. The economic balance of our life also affects us. And what are we worth, which goes down into self-worth, debt. What do we feel indebted to? And what kind of actual financial debt do we have? How does our environment with our economic and worth value affect us? So we know that there's a messenger within that has to do with abundance, without being superficial, to really look at worth and what we deserve, and also what we owe and how we bring that into balance. To balance the juxtaposition between the paranormal and the material world, and to trust your intuition, to trust gut instincts, to know that what you hear can be true and what you invent is beautiful, and that you don't have to be afraid to go outside the box and be afraid to be judged, to share your ideas with the world, because there will always be someone who will judge you. And there will always be someone who doesn't like maybe what you say or who you are, and that's okay. You know, what's important is that we be inventive and innovative, because we are given this gift to like no other organism that we know of on planet Earth that can actually destroy ourselves in this manner. And so we are here to make changes, calling us to trust our life and to be, again, brave, courageous, and hopeful that a new world evolving is one that brings greater opportunity rather than deterioration. So again, we are at a monumental shift. Our body awareness and health is changing. The pandemic brought us tremendous stress. We're in recovery, not so much that we'll never have another pandemic or that the pandemic won't continue, but I think we're in the recovery of the trauma that we can't live with this. You know, we're going to have to learn to live with this. The recovery means that we are a part of a greater electromagnetic field that is going to have, you know, many interruptions, and viruses and bacteria and shifts on planet Earth, excuse me, due to the level of electromagnetic shift that is happening in our body and on Earth. So again, we must seek a way to bridge mind-body, to overcome this duality, to reconnect to trust, and to know that we are going to find a way to survive, to adapt, to create what we'll call defenses, which means that we are not obliterated by a changing world, but we are informed by it and we are stronger for it. And so here, vibrational energy, flower essence therapy, which we all, I know, embrace, is founded on the knowledge that emotions and attitudes are key factors in health and wellness. This is so exciting, you know, whether you're working with the template of astrology and flower essences, archetype and flower essences, bodywork, acupuncture. We know that the beauty of bringing flower essences into each field is going to raise that level of vibration and interconnectedness, you might say, with subtle influences that create change. So we ask, is it possible to shift genetically inherited influences, genetic dispositions, and environmental dissonance with flower essence therapy? And of course, I believe the answer is yes. I do believe so. I don't have empirical evidence. I don't have the beautiful slides that Richard Gerber showed. I don't have Kirlian photography at my disposal. I can only say yes, because I know it's true from what I see and what I've experienced in my own body. And again, after 35 years of working professionally with flower essences, astrology, archetype, I have witnessed the amazing results of flower essences. And we need them more than ever now. We need love more than ever now.